Welcome to the video lecture series of digital image processing. Today's topic is detection of discontinuities. Just to remind you that previous video lecture was about introduction to image segmentation. So we have studied what is image segmentation, how a image can be partitioned into a smaller components. So here we are going to discuss about the types of discontinuities which can be observed, because of which image can be partitioned further. Let us begin. First, you must understand how many types of gray level discontinuities actually exist over there. So it can be broadly categorized into three categories. Those are point, line and edge. See, whenever you are talking about a point discontinuity in an image, it means it is giving you what? It is giving you the information about the isolated point. When you are talking about the line detection in any image, so line may have a various natures. You can draw a vertical line, you can draw a horizontal line, you can draw a slanted line. So accordingly, lines can also be observed wherever there is a variation among the pixels intensity. So here the objective is to identify the discontinuities which are available in an image, and accordingly further steps can be taken for the partitioning. Third type of gray level discontinuity is edge. Edge is actually, you can like visualize it. See, if you have to draw the image of a car, what you are going to draw? You are going to draw the outline. So edge detection is what? It is related to the outline of the object. So point is a isolated point. Line may be any nature of line, vertical, horizontal, etc. And the edge is the outline of that particular object. So these many points I have summarized you. Slanted line may be like see, this is the vertical line, this is horizontal line. Slanted may be like this way or this way, accordingly any type of line. If you are talking about a ball, see, this is the outline of the object. Isolated point is a single point. So this is how you can remember there are three types of gray level discontinuities. Now let us discuss about each and every discontinuity in detail. First is point, second is line and third is the edge. So let us first discuss about the point detection. What is point detection? As I have told you that point is a isolated point whose gray level is significantly different from its background in a homogeneous area. Sometimes you may observe there is a bright spot or a black spot in any image. So that particular spot can be observed as a isolated point. See, if this is a mask, 3x3 mask and 3x3 image size is being given over here. See, size of mask and image, if required, it must be same. So here what is going to be happen? The mask is superimposed onto an image, and when mask is superimposed on an image, then the convolution process is applied, and when convolution process is applied, you will be getting the response of the mask, and this response of mask can be written as what? R is what? Summation of all the 9 terms. See, it is a 3x3 matrix, all the 9 terms, W into Z. Coefficient of mask into coefficient of the image. So this is the process. But what is going to how you are going to evaluate whether the point is available or not? So to identify the availability of a isolated point, you must select a threshold value. The threshold value is denoted by T, which is used to identify the points. You can remember it, you can note it down as well. It means if the value of R, the response which you are getting, mod of this particular value, this is greater than or equal to T, then you are going to say that a point is detected, and the value of this threshold, this must be a non-negative integer. You can see here a sample mask is being shown for a point detection. If you are going to apply any algorithm, if you are going to implement anything, you need some sample mask. So this is how a sample mask is being shown over here. So this kind of mask can be used. So this is about the point detection. Second is the line detection. Means this is the another kind of discontinuity. So about the line detection, I have told you that 4 types of masks can be used to get the responses. What are the 4 kinds of mask and how it is to be identified? See, line may be a vertical line, it may be a horizontal line, it may be a slanted line at a 45 degree, it may be a slanted line at minus 45 degree. So accordingly 4 different masks is to be taken. You can see the mask horizontal, vertical, plus 45 degree, minus 45 degree, which is being shown. Horizontal, you can observe this second row. You can observe this second column. This shows the vertical line. In case of 45 degree, you can see this particular point 2, 2 and 2. And for minus 45 degree, this point is being taken, this is being taken, this is being taken. So it represents minus 45 degree. And here what is to be done? Again you have to apply the mask on the image, then superimpose, then convolution process is being applied, and accordingly you have to calculate the response of the mask. See, response of the mask, it is being given as what? R of k, where k varies from 1 to 4 because 4 different masks have been taken, wk into zk. See, here one important point is, see, there are 4 masks. You are saying R1, R2, R3 and R4. It means, let me write it, R1, R2, R3 and R4 depending upon the different values of k. So R1 is the response when moving the mask from left to right. Moving from left to right. And R2 is the response for moving the mask from top to bottom. It varies from top to bottom. Similarly, R3 is the response of mask along plus 45 degree line, and R4 is the response of the mask with respect to the line which is being drawn at minus 45 degree. So here, if at a certain point in any image, see this particular condition, mod of Ri is greater than mod of Rj, for all values of j which is not equal to I, that particular point is said to be more likely associated with a line in the direction of mask. So this is how the line which is more likely to be associated with the orientation of the mask is being considered, and the final maximum response, you must remember this point, the final maximum response, it can be defined as the maximum of all these values which you are getting from the mask, and that line is associated with the mask. So I hope now the discontinuity which is being denoted or identified as a line, it must be clear to you, and how to apply the mask as well. Next is the edge detection. This is the third type of discontinuity. See, as I have told you that edges play a very important role in a image processing applications, and actually edge provides what? It provides the outline of the object, and how you can like identify which particular line is a edge. See, if you are plotting a image, let me tell you, suppose you are plotting an image of a ball. You are providing some boundary, you are putting some boundary. So when you are sketching some boundary, you can see there is a variation in the pixels value or the intensity, the pixel which is just inside the boundary and the pixel which is just outside. Means you can see there is a transition. So pixels on edge, this is known as a edge point, and here transition is to be observed because edge corresponds to the discontinuities. Discontinuities in terms of depth, in terms of surface orientation, in terms of material properties, or in terms of light variations. So this is all about, you can understand in terms of the edge. Or in a layman term, you can understand what is edge. It is a set of connected pixels which lies on the boundary between the two regions which differs in a gray level. If this is a boundary, the pixel which is available over here and the pixel which is available over here, they will have certain difference in the gray level intensity. And most of the edges are unique in space. because their position, orientation remains the same in space when it is viewed from the different points. See, if you are plotting a image of a flower, you can see how the edges are going to vary over there. So, edge actually locates sharp changes in intensity function. Edges are nothing but the pixels where brightness changes abruptly, as I have given you the example of a ball. And edge can be extracted by computing the derivative of the image function. See, there is a change, there is a variation. It means here comes the role of the derivative operator. So with respect to the derivative operator, you can identify, you can observe two things. One is the magnitude and other is the direction. So magnitude indicates the strength or contrast of the edge, while the direction of derivative operator, it indicates edge orientation. So both of these points can be evaluated from the magnitude and direction depending upon which type of image that is, whether it is a one-dimensional or two-dimensional accordingly. See, some of the commonly encountered edges in image processing are, see, edges you may find they may have various kinds of behavior. Some of them vary very quickly, some of them may vary with a gradually change, some may have a very short response accordingly. So 4 types of edges can be identified which are commonly encountered in image processing. These are step edge, ramp edge, spike edge and roof edge. Different patterns. You must be aware with these types of patterns as well. You must have studied in your previous semesters as well. What is step edge? See how it is going to be drawn. Step edge can be drawn in this particular manner. So it is actually defined as an abrupt change in the intensity where there is an immediate change, and can be observed from this particular diagram. If we talk about the ramp edge represents gradual change in the intensity. See here, there is a gradual change like in this way. Third is the spike edge. Spike, from the name itself it is clear that there is some spikes, points, highlighted points. So spikes is actually quick change or immediately returns to the original intensity level. So this is how a spike edge can be identified. It can be visualized in the case of the edge detection. Fourth one is the roof edge. Roof kind of pattern you used to plot in the drawing itself. This is the roof pattern, and roof edge is not an instantaneous over a short duration. So this is how roof edge can be characterized. It can be understood. Let us discuss the stages in edge detection. See, edge detection is going to be identified, which is going to be useful for the image segmentation, and here the idea is to detect edge, that is the sharp change in image brightness, which can be captured by various properties. So the edge detection process can be summarized as, or it can be drawn as into this particular diagram. You can see over here. First is the start. You have to initiate a process for which, for an image, it means input is the image. Then filtering is to be applied. See, this is the important function, filtering. What do you mean by this particular filtering? See, filtering is nothing but it is used to create a better input image, to give a better form of the input image. Why it is required? So that we can get the maximum performance for the edge detectors. And filtering, it involves actually smoothing, as I have told you, to get the better image, and this stage may be performed explicitly or implicitly. This is how it can be performed, and at this particular stage noise can also be suppressed, and noise which you are going to suppress, it is not going to impact the edges actually. Here some of the filters can also be used so that the image quality or the quality of edges which are available in an image can be enhanced. Normally Gaussian filters can be used. After this filtering, you can see the next stage is differentiation. Differentiation, from the name itself, it is clear that the derivative. You are aware about the first order derivative, second order derivative. It means this phase distinguish the edge pixels from the other pixels. And how to differentiate it? See how to differentiate it. So here the objective is to find out the difference between two neighboring pixels. If A and B are the two neighboring pixels, then their difference is going to be calculated. So in this case, if you are saying A and B are two neighboring pixels, if the pixels have the same value, the value of A and B is same, it means the difference is 0. And when the difference is 0, there is no transition between the pixels. Means there is no edge. So non-zero difference indicates the presence of the edge point. It means there must be certain difference in between A and B, and the point which is defined as an edge, if it is first derivative which is greater than the specified threshold, or the second derivative is usually gives you the information about the sign change. So the differentiation, it distinguishes the edge pixels from the other pixels, as I have given you the example. If there are two pixels A and B, then how to evaluate it? See, vector delta F. As you know that most of the images are two-dimensional images. So here the gradient vector F, it is also a two-dimensional. It means F of xy. This vector is what? This is F of xy, because we are talking about the two-dimensional, and the location is denoted as x comma y over here. So gx and gy, these are the gradients actually, gx and gy. So if you are going to calculate the magnitude of this vector, this is referred to as gradient delta f. This is what? Magnitude of delta f, and this is nothing but the under root gx square plus gy square, or it can be written as what? Mod of gx plus mod of gy, because edge strength is indicated by the edge magnitude, and the direction of gradient vector, see, direction of gradient vector, it is useful to detect a sudden change in the intensity. And the direction of gradient can be represented by theta or alpha. So here theta is nothing but this is tan inverse gy upon gx. So this is how magnitude and direction can be calculated. Next, the important stage is the localization. You can see after differentiation there is a stage which is known as a localization. So from the name itself, it is clear that localization process involves what? It involves determining the exact location of edge. So localization is related with the identification of edge exact location, and this stage also involves edge thinning and edge linking steps, so that edges can be like drawn or can be viewed in a sharp and connected manner, and these sharp and connected edges can be displayed further. So here the purpose of the localization to determine exact location of the edge, and you must remember that edge map is required, and edge map is then displayed, and this edge map is stored for the further image processing operations. After the localization there is a display unit. So the function of this particular unit to display the image which is being processed till this particular stage, localization, and then the end of this particular program. So I hope now all these stages are next clear. Let us discuss about the types of edge detectors. So commonly edge detection process, there are 4 types of edge detection operators or algorithms. These are derivative types, template matching, Gaussian derivatives, and pattern fit approach. These are four commonly used and important one. What do you mean by derivative? Derivative is always whenever you are taking the difference between the adjacent pixels. So derivative filters here it uses differential techniques for edge detection. This is about the derivative type. Second is the template matching. What do you mean by this? Template is what? Template is something sample or pattern which is being used over here. So what do you mean by template matching? It uses templates, means some samples which resembles the target shape and matches with the image. If you have to extract, if you have to like segregate the image of a car, you have to use a sample. What is the sample of that particular car? Whether the car is like a hatchback, sedan, that particular sample is going to be matched with the image. So this is the template matching edge detection algorithm. Third is the Gaussian derivative. Gaussian derivative uses actually Gaussian filters, and Gaussian derivatives are very effective for real-time images. Even Gaussian derivatives are also used along with the derivative filters. So it can be clubbed with the derivative filters and the hybrid can be used. Last is the pattern fit approach. Pattern fit approach, here a surface is considered and the surface must be topographic surface with pixel value. Each and every pixel value represents the altitude, and here the objective is to fit a pattern over a neighborhood of pixels where you need to calculate the edge strength. So these are the four different types of edge detection algorithms. One is derivative, other is template matching, third is Gaussian derivative, and the fourth is pattern fit approach. Topic for the next video lecture is first order edge detection operators in image segmentation. Thank you so much for watching this video.